we said it.
Hi, hello, welcome to another episode of Now We've Said It. I'm your host, Quisha. Y'all, how are y'all doing today? How are you guys doing on this lovely Friday? Look at me actually getting a podcast up on the day that I promised you. You guys, my goal going forward is to be very accountable. You don't understand how much it pains me to not be able to upload on the days that I say. So I feel like the permanent schedule for me is going to be Tuesdays and Fridays. You don't know, I'm just saying. Okay, so right up front, let's talk about a little bit of tea. Let's start off with the city that I'm very much extremely casually watching and not really talking about unless it comes down to stuff like this. OC, Bronwyn is a terror. You know, you try to support people in their sober journey, but it's really hard to give Bronwyn that support at this moment because she is being such a monster. She is abusive, she is manipulative, she cannot see her fault in things. So the recent news that has been coming out is, first of all, she was the one between the relationship with her and, damn it, what's his name? Damn it, is it Sean or Shane? No, it's not his name. Y'all, what's his name? Damn it, now you're gonna make me look it up. I feel like his name's Shane, but that's Emily's husband, right? Damn it. All right, y'all, give me a second before I look up his name. Why do I feel like his name's Shane, too? I feel like it's Sean. Okay, here we go. Sean. Out of their relationship, Bronwyn was the first one to date somebody else to our knowledge. You know, she came out as lesbian. Very good for her. I'm very proud of her living her truth. Then she made some weird statements saying that she would be jealous if Sean started dating somebody else. Again, very understandable, but it's like if you're moving on, then you need to also let your partner move on as well. He can't just be there for you and not care for himself. So those were very questionable statements. But then we get this other news that dropped recently saying that she allegedly offered to get cocaine for one of Shannon's daughters. Bitch, what? Especially when it comes to OC, I'm not really all that invested in reading the stories. I feel like they need to just completely get a whole new cast in OC. It's not working. These women do not like each other. They don't get along. They are not friends in real life. Shannon is too old. I'm just saying, she's too old to mingle it in with these other bitches. It's not working. And Kelly is a whole damn mess. I'm ready to see her gone too. Honestly, can we just keep Emily and keep it moving? I only like Emily, and I'm surprised because I didn't like her at first. Gina can go too. I'm tired. So that's a little bit of OC news. I think the reunion just recently happened. I haven't watched it yet. I think I'm still behind. I think I still need to watch 2 more episodes and then the reunion. I don't even know where I am with OC, y'all. It's so lame. Then we could see the looks for the ladies of Salt Lake City. Their reunion looks came out. I am very underwhelmed by the looks. The only person that looked good, I'm actually trying to find the pictures right now. Yeah, I know I should be a lot more prepared when I do this kind of stuff, but I'm not. I'll just be out here winging it, child. Okay, here we go. Here are the pictures. I wish Whitney wore a different shoe. If Whitney would have worn a different shoe and changed her hair, this look would have been everything. She needs a very strappy, skinny heel instead of that chunky heel she's wearing. It's not working. The burgundy color looks beautiful on her. Love that color on her. Heather could have worn something way more flattering for her body. She has way more curves, and this outfit is doing her body justice. The shoes are amazing. The dress is actually really nice. They needed to cinch her waist a little bit more. Heather would have rocked it. I know they're dressing cold because it's Salt Lake City, so I'm giving them that. They're all wearing long sleeves. I think all of them are wearing long sleeves. Jen Shaw, no. The outfit is not doing it for me. Her hair is terrible. Her makeup looks trash. I'm not feeling Jen Shaw's outfit at all. Meredith is wearing a sexy business lady business suit / dress combo. I'm kind of low-key into it. I love the color on her. The boobs are out. The more I look at this outfit, the more I like it. I love the earrings. I love the hair. All right, Meredith, I'm feeling you, boo. It's like a gold shiny number, but y'all don't hate me. I'm kind of here for it. She's serving. Lisa, I can't get over. I already saw a meme about them comparing Lisa's outfit to Ariel in The Little Mermaid, and that's all I can see. It's very slinky. It's definitely not a reunion dress. It's very much just like a casual or maybe even like a club party type of a dress. It's not a reunion dress, and the shoes do not go. They're chunky and they're gold and they're sparkly, and I don't like them. I'm not a fan of a chunky shoe. I just feel like it makes women's feet look big and bulky. I love a nice, sexy, strappy heel. Now, I know those are not the most comfortable to wear, but pain is pleasure, and y'all are sitting down for most of the time, so who cares, right? Mary. Yeah, what we gonna do with Mary? Her wig looked very okay. Why is she wearing pink lipstick? I'm very confused. With the gold dress, she should have worn a really nice nude lip, dark brown lip liner with a very nice nude lipstick and a nice gloss. If this is the dress she's going with, it's very okay. It's not worse than some of the other dresses, so I'm going to give that to Mary. This is probably the best I've seen Mary look, in my opinion, y'all. Please let me know what y'all think about the Salt Lake City reunion looks. They're on the Bravo TV website, and if you go to Instagram, just, type in hashtag Salt Lake City, and you'll be able to see all the looks. So what also came out is the Jersey Season 11 cast photo. Let me talk about the looks. Who is this lady on the end? Is that supposed to be Marge? Bitch, that is not Marge. Who is this? Y'all, they got Marge up here looking like Norvina. If y'all don't know who Norvina is, please look it up. Jackie looks amazing. Melissa looks good. Teresa looks amazing. Dolores is looking poppin'. Jennifer, that's not her body, but she looks really good. I have a question for the lady on the end. Ma'am, who are you? Because you are not Marge. You are Norvina. I'm actually going to make that a meme before the end of this episode. Ooh, child, hold on. I just saw a comment of Bronwyn, back to OC, talking about responding to a comment under one of Kelly Dodd's posts. She says, I got the worst edit this year. I had to actually apologize for how I spoke to my boss at one point as I yelled 4-letter expletives loudly. Who's your boss? It is what it is, and honestly, it's kind of freeing when I gave up on getting people to understand the truth and just rolled with it. Okay, girl. Bronwyn, you just have to accept that you're an asshole, and you being sober just makes you realize that who you are deep down is you're actually an asshole. So, I mean, whatever, shit. What do you want us to do about it? All right, so I guess that's all the tea, y'all. I don't really... I try my best. I always say, I'm gonna, write down all the tea and talk about all the tea topics, but the way I have to churn out these podcast episodes and watch these shows and have a job and a second YouTube channel, which is actually my main channel, and I ain't got the motherfucking time, but I really am gonna try my best to really get my tea segment organized. These episodes really aren't giving me much, so the tea segments are the most fun for me. So I'm gonna try to do a better job at talking about the tea portions because I love the tea portions. Congratulations to President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. It was so beautiful to see. It was a lovely day. They all looked beautiful. They came to stunt on bitches. It was flawless. I loved it. And it makes me very happy and hopeful for the future. So let's move on. Let's go ahead and get right into these recaps. So today I'm going to be recapping the Housewives of Dallas and Salt Lake City. So let's start with Dallas because I feel like that's going to be the quickest one because this episode it wasn't giving anything. Y'all, I don't know how I feel about Dallas this season. It's been 3 episodes and we've gotten up chicken feet. If chicken feet is all it's given, I'm going to take my chicken feet and walk the fuck up out of this season, okay? I'm going to give it I said this last week, but I am going to give it one more episode, maybe 2, and I don't know if I'm going to have the energy to recap Dallas, y'all. It is so boring. So let's get it started. So this is season 5, episode 3, and it's called Carried Away, and they spell Carrie like the housewife Carrie, okay? So we start off with, I'm only going to talk about where I started taking notes. I don't know if this was truly the episode beginning or not, but anyway, we have Cameron and Fancy. They're doing cardio together, and Fancy's actually being very well behaved. I always wondered how easy it was to get a dog to walk on a treadmill. I've never tried it. It seems like a good idea, especially if you have a fenced-in backyard and you do want your dog to get that exercise. It looks very promising to me. So Cameron is calling all the ladies. She's going to invite them to a party party that she's throwing for Carrie. It's Carrie's 50th birthday, and Carrie was going to go to Saint Tropez, and of course because of COVID she cannot go, so Cameron is throwing her a Saint Tropez themed 50th birthday party. She's calling all the women, she's requesting that they wear white. Y'all, that's a tricky color to wear. Now listen, for me, with my melanin, white looks amazing on my black skin, but I know for some white women's or women's lacking melanin, white cannot look all that great on y'all or them. I don't know who's listening to this, but So, white for me, I'd be like, oh, ain't no problem. I'm finna show up and I'm finna stun. I'm coming. That white is my signature. White and black, bitch. I'm either coming in white and I'm coming in black. You ain't gotta ask me twice. Everybody's down to go. And then she gets to Tiffany and she says she's not sure where they are in their relationship because of the whole chicken feet thing. Ciao. But she calls Tiffany and Tiffany's down to go. And Cameron just says she feels like people shouldn't be forced to eat food that they don't want to eat. I don't know that Tiffany was forcing her to eat it. Was she? I don't really know. Listen, if it really comes down to it, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. Y'all, this argument is so damn petty and I don't have the time. It's not that I don't have the time, because I do have the time. I don't have the energy. Like, honestly, who cares? Cameron is doing her Cameron shit where she hops on the things and she does not let them go. Y'all remember what happened I think it was last season? The thing that she did to Stephanie, she kept holding on to Stephanie not showing up or Stephanie being late, something very dumb, and she just clung onto it like a dog with a bone. Fancy. So that is definitely what Cameron's doing. I knew it from the beginning because I'm like, okay, when I realized this episode was all about chicken feet, I was like, yo, I don't think we have anything this season. Anyway, the next scene we have, or the next scene that's in my notes, we have Stephanie. She's watching Travis and the boys fish, and she tells us what her foundation is doing at the moment. They're doing like locker renovations for schools in need that need new lockers, which I think is a really nice idea. Very cool, especially because her husband makes lockers for like football teams and athletes and stuff. It's very much in their wheelhouse, so it's something that they can do very easily. She pretty much says that, I got my husband and his resources involved, and I pretty much forced my husband into helping me out. Child, period. He ain't got nothing to do. I mean, I'm sure he has plenty to do, but it's like, I don't feel like it would be a big deal for him to offer some of his employees or some of his resources to her, but child, here we go. Travis starts talking about how she pretty much is just telling people what to do and she's not really helping, and it's costing him money because he's using his team for her foundation. And she's like, listen, like, we have the money. This is something we can do. Like, why not help these people? And he's like, I understand, but this is costing me money. She pretty much said, when we first got together, I was a social worker. I had a career. I had things going on. And you said that you wanted like a stay-at-home wife and you wanted me to just be taking care of our kids. Here's my thing to Stephanie. Okay, so then why did you marry him? He outlined the things that he wanted in a wife. And if you didn't want to be that kind of a wife, then why did you marry him? That's all I'm gonna say, y'all. Listen, I support Stephanie. I'm behind Stephanie in all of this, but I have to question if before y'all, I don't know if he said this before they got married. The way they were talking, she made it seem like this is the things that he said he expects out of his wife before they got married. So if you're not down to do that, then do not marry this person. I know it's hard to say all this and then actually do it because you're in love and you think he's going to change. Oh, he's not really going to, bitch. That is what he really wants. And that is what he said in the confessional. So in their confessional, Travis was like, I feel like she pretty much tricked me because when we first got together, I was expecting a stay-at-home mom and I wanted her to be home and to cook and take care of our kids. And he said, and then we get married and all this stuff changes. That's what I'm saying right there. He said what he wanted, and you said that you would be that for him. I would never agree to do any of that shit. I'm not your mom, and I'm not anybody's mom. No. This is a 50-50 partnership. You have to realize when you get into these, weddings and, or when you get married to these people and you have these agreements. Here's my thing. If I had a man taking care of me financially, I didn't have to worry about anything. I didn't have to have a job. After working since I'm 16 and I'm 34 now, bitch, I'll do it. I'll clean the house. I'll watch the kids. I'm saying that now because that's not my situation, but I don't know. I feel like people get into these situations when they're young and they expect these men to change or bend when they feel like they need to grow. They were expecting a certain type of a wife, and y'all, I go very back and forth on this Travis and Stephanie thing, because maybe you do agree to be that kind of a person, and then you get in that situation and then you realize, hey, I'm actually kind of bored. I don't like just being at home all day. I do want to be my own person. And then if you do that, and that causes a man to get jealous, and that's what I'm sensing from Travis. I'm sensing a little bit of jealousy with his little troll looking ass. He ain't even all that cute to be making all these goddamn demands. She says that she lost herself in the marriage, and the person with all the money has all the control in the situation. So what they say, child, that's why you don't get in these situations. You never let yourself be at a vulnerable spot like that. My mama always told me, always make sure that you are good. Always make sure that you are able to take care of yourself, regardless of a man being in your life or not. Honey, you cannot put all of your eggs into this man's goddamn basket, because he ready to hippity hop into the next big basket. I promise you that. I'm gonna move on, child. So then we get to this scene with Tiffany. It's very boring. She's giving me Wendy vibes from Potomac. It's like they come in super educated and they don't want to mess up their reputation, so they're very boring on TV. Do you know what show you are on, honey? I need drama. I need marriage issues. I need infidelity. I need money laundering schemes. I need drama. I don't want to see regular housewives on this show. Tiffany is giving me hella Wendy vibes, and as much as I want to be here for her, I cannot, because she is not being a proper housewife. She shops for her mom, who's scared to leave her house because of COVID, because she's old. Understandable, very cool. They shop for her mom, and she says that her mom is a tiger mom. Her mom was like the true definition of a tiger mom. She says she didn't really get to have an opportunity to make mistakes, because growing up, her mom did not play that shit. So she did not like fuck up. She didn't like go out or party or anything like that. And she says her mom is super picky, and even when she bought her mom a brand new Porsche, the first words out of her mom's mouth was, "So it's not turbo?" Her mama said, "Who car is this? Because mine should have had turbo." Then we shoot over to Carrie. She's having her 50th birthday party shoot. Y'all have to give it to her. As annoying as Carrie is, her body is fucking banging, okay? She looked incredible. She was serving looks, she was serving body, she was serving abs. I was like, yes, ma'am. She was serving nipples. Come on now. So then Stephanie comes to visit her on her photo shoot, and then they flash back to other times Stephanie came for her photo shoots or whatever, and Carrie's talking to Stephanie, and she says that she didn't get to have much of a childhood because her mother was an alcoholic, and she's spending most of her time taking care of her mom. That is very sad. I understand that. I mean, I don't understand it. My mom's not an alcoholic or anything, but my mom worked a lot, so I definitely had to like step up a lot, and all of us did once we became of age. It's like you have to take over, you have to be an adult very fast, and when you live that kind of a life, you really don't have a lot of time to like go play around and have fun and live your life and stuff. And Carrie pretty much says like she's living her 50s like her 20s. She's gonna ball out and she's gonna have a good ass time. So we shoot over to Cameron and the party. She decided to have the party at her father-in-law's house because she said, you know, she's selling her house, and since it's on the market, she don't want a bunch of people in her house drinking wine, eating food, getting wine and dirt and stuff in the carpets. Very understandable. So you rather just do it at your father-in-law's house. Brandy reveals that she recently traveled to Florida on a plane, y'all. To attend the party, she took 4 COVID tests, and they're all negative, and to prove that, she's wearing her negative test results around her neck. All right. So we see Cameron's friend again, and I can, in fact, confirm that her name is Jen. All right. Then they have like shirtless guys all around the party. They're shirtless, but they're wearing suspenders and shorts. Okay, they're there to cater and serve food and be good looking at the party. They weren't giving it to me, child. Well, nobody was cute. Carrie is still being very shitty towards Deandra. Deandra comes to the party and Carrie hugs her and goes, she's like, my favorite pain in the ass. I think she said my favorite pain in the ass. Or my little pain in the ass or something like that. And it's just like, I didn't even want to come to this goddamn party. For real. Deandra rather have been home meditating to that weird ass shaman voice, child. But no, because of the show, she was obligated to come to this damn party. And they get Tiffany taking shots. And she says that she never really got to party, so she missed out on a whole lot of like shot taking situations, and she would like to be a lot more fun like Carrie and just enjoy the moment and not care about consequences. You can tell Tiffany's trying her best to let loose, but she's still very uptight, and that's something like when you grow up like that, constantly thinking about perfection and worrying about being the perfect person, it's extremely hard for people like that to let loose and have a good time. I'm very curious to see how she'll do as a housewife because she is so uptight and she doesn't seem like a lot of fun. I'm on the fence about Tiffany. I'm on the fence about Carrie. I'm not off the fence about any of these housewives. I think the only person I like is Stephanie, and she's boring too. Like the fuck, y'all. Dallas is not giving it to me. Brandy's trying to drink through her face shield. She's hitting the shield, forgetting that's on her face, just being really dumb, very funny. They're sitting down and they're eating, and y'all, Cameron brings up the chicken feet thing in such a shitty way. She goes, "Oh, this food is amazing. You know, it's not like the chicken feet." And Tiffany's like, "You just offended everyone in China." And Cameron says, "I don't feel like chicken feet has anything to do with China." And Tiffany's like, it's a delicacy from China." And then Cameron goes, "Don't you realize you're stereotyping your entire race right now?" And Tiffany's like, "What do you mean? It's from China." Y'all, I'm not going to go back and forth about this chicken feet argument, but they just argue back and forth about the chicken feet and how Cameron says that Tiffany made her feel uncomfortable. And Tiffany said, "I just wanted you to try something new, blah, 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 blah." And they say at the end of this argument that they're going to have a fresh start, but I highly doubt it, especially on Cameron's side. Y'all know, or you may not, but Cameron has a very hard time letting go of things. I just don't see her starting fresh. I don't. The ladies proceed to party. They start having shots. They're having fun. Carrie gets sprayed with champagne like she didn't expect it, but she actually requested it, but acting surprised. Okay. Then Carrie pushes Tiffany in the pool, and y'all, she can't swim, and she's drunk. Like, what the hell? Then all the ladies get in the pool except for Tiffany, and they're all like trying to get her to come into the pool, but she has to go because she's a goddamn doctor, and she's not down to clown. She has to go to work. She actually has a job, unlike the rest of these bees. And that's where the episode ends. So next week, we see the ladies celebrating Brandy's birthday, and they go to a vineyard. We see Tiffany having another boring conversation with her kids. Basically, they're saying they miss her, like they don't get to spend enough time with her because she's so busy being a doctor. Carrie is talking to her daughter about anxiety and depression, and Carrie reveals that her daughter sent her a text message basically saying like, "I feel like I'm gonna hurt myself," or "I don't know what I'm gonna do," or something like that. Very scary. Then we see Deandra and Carrie get into it more about like their nitpicking, and pretty much we're gonna see their relationship blow up, y'all. It's not gonna go well. So that is a recap of Dallas. It was a boring episode. The only slightly juicy part was the end, and Dallas is off to a very rocky start in my opinion. I don't know how many more episodes I'm gonna give it until I call in the towel, y'all. I'm not sure. I don't know. How are y'all feeling about Dallas? Somebody talk to me. But anyway, so let's move on to Salt Lake City. So this is Salt Lake City season 1 episode 11, and it's called All Bets Are Off. Salt Lake City, see, they know what they're doing with Salt Lake City. They make the middle chunk of the episode very boring, where they give you like a little bit of juice in the beginning and then all the juice in the end. They know exactly what they're doing with Salt Lake City, and we just found out that they officially have been renewed for a second season. So I'm very curious to see which housewives got picked up for a second season and which housewives we're not going to see in season 2. I don't think I read anything about that, so if y'all know, let me know in the comments down below or in the show notes. Please let me know. I'm very interested to hear more about Salt Lake City season 2. So anyway, we start the episode off with what these are my notes. I'm going to say I can confirm. My notes say that we start the episode off with what I'm pretty sure is going to be the only Mary scene of the episode. And y'all, it was. I'm getting very sick and tired of only seeing Mary in one scene. I know that it seems like Jen has the upper hand because she's kind of the one controlling all of this, and I really wish Mary would have went to Vegas, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't like that we are only getting one scene of Mary per episode. That also leads me to believe that Mary will not return for season 2. I feel like if it's confirmed that Jen comes back for season 2, Mary's just not gonna show up. Like, she's gonna drop out. That's what I'm feeling, because I feel like it's going to be the same like this season. We're only going to see her for one scene, and it's not fair because Mary is way more interesting than all of these bitches. It should be up to Mary who gets to come back. We have Mary and her grand husband. They are talking about the state of the Florida house, and he says he doesn't want to keep the house anymore. He says it's too much trouble and he wants to get rid of it. And Mary says, so what are you saying about me? What does that mean about me? If I'm too much work, are you just going to get rid of me? And he was like, why would you say that? And that's truly where the scene ends. And that's not the Mary we get. I don't like that. I thought Mary looked really pretty in this scene. I feel like she wasn't wearing a lot of makeup and her natural face looked really pretty. Then we also get the only interesting Brooke scene, I'm going to say is the best out of the whole series. Or the whole season. You have Meredith and Brooks and they're shopping, and Brooks goes, I'm on a dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free diet. They're shopping around this stuff, and Brooks actually had a little bit of life to him. He's like, I want noodles. He goes, but I can't eat that. He goes, ooh, what about chicken nuggets? Like, Brooks was being actually cute in this scene. Then they get up to the register and he goes, oh, what is this? Like, I think it was like chicken and turkey jerky. I can't remember. He goes, oh, this looks delicious. And he goes, wait, is this for dogs? And the cashier goes, yeah, that's for dogs. And Brooks was like, oh, because I was going to say it looked really good. Brooks. That was his shining moment, and that's it. And then we see Jen and Sharif. They're actually planning a double date with them and their friend. I think his name was Big Daddy and Heather. Okay, we're gonna get to that date in a minute. Then we have Whitney. She's having her brother and her sister over. They're gonna have dinner with their dad. And Whitney explains that her family is not the typical Mormon family. They have multiple marriages, like they have stepkids and stuff like that. Y'all, they show some throwback pictures of her dad, and I'm pretty sure they showed these earlier on, but he was actually kind of handsome looking. I was like, look at him. Now what happened? Well, I mean, we know what happened, the drugs. He was cute for a moment in time. And then her brother shows up, her sister Shay. She says pretty much like her brother doesn't really know to support or not support, so he's kind of in the middle, but her sister Shay is definitely not trying to support him. So she thought it was very important that Shay was there so that Shay could see the progress that their dad has made, and hopefully it could bring their family together. Whitney ordered Chinese food. That's a move, sis. Listen, I'm not the best cook either. I mean, I can do a little bit in the kitchen, but when things come down, if we're having like this very important family meeting on TV, she could have at least took the things out the boxes and put them in like other trays. I would have made it look more presentable than Whitney was like, listen, just get it out the box and put it on the plate. Whitney said she ain't got the time. She got to get to the poll, child. And then we actually found out, y'all, the answer, my question have been answered from a few podcasts back. If you don't recall, I asked because we saw that scene with Whitney and her dad, and they talked about him possibly having a roommate, but we never heard the outcome. We found out her dad gets there and reveals that he actually has a roommate. His name is Tommy, and that's pretty much all we know, but at least it answered my question. And you can tell their dad is trying to keep everything like super light and super positive. He's like talking, saying, you know, we were a family at one time and we had a lot of fun. You guys being here today shows a lot of vulnerability, and I really appreciate that, girl. Then you look over to Shay and what's the brother's name? Will? I don't know. But then you show a picture. Then they shoot over to Shay and the brother, and they're looking like, okay. Very blank stares. Very much like, okay, girl. If you say so, sis. And Whitney also revealed that it had been 10 years since they've all been together in the same room. I feel like her brother's name is Will, y'all. Whatever. Anyway, Will pretty much alludes to the fact that their dad is all talk. He goes, you know, we're always saying these things, but we need to actually like see action. And I heard that's pretty common with addicts and stuff. They are always making promises that they don't keep. That's the hardest part of all the thing, is keeping them accountable as well. Y'all, Shay's face during this whole thing is saying everything. She is not here for the BS. She looked like she did not want to be there. She looked very uncomfortable. Shay said, so I'm coming over here to get lied to and eat some Chinese food straight out the box. That's what I came here for? Yeah. So then we head over to the double date with Sharif and Jen and Big Daddy and Heather. Sharif is wearing a very questionable velvet shirt, or in the words of my friend Danny Pellegrino, he's not my friend, but I listen to him and I feel like he's my friend. In the words of Danny Pellegrino, a blouse. He's wearing and it is very much a blouse. This was a blouse if I ever did see one. He's wearing this velvety blouse. It has all these like patterns on it. He's doing blouse work. So Big Daddy walks in, and y'all, he is huge. He's a big dude, like not fat, but just like a big, tall, thick man. And we find out that his name is Keith. Heather goes in her confessional. He's tall, he's dark, he's handsome, he's alive. So they know what I'm looking for. And that's her moment. That was Heather's moment of the episode. I'm telling y'all, Heather has a moment every episode. She's my favorite. She's my favorite on Salt Lake City. I love me some Heather. Now, Big Daddy is talking about his job and the things that he does, and he is rambling, and Heather is drifting in and out. And she pretty much boils it down. Listen, you know when you see somebody, you're like, listen, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And that is exactly what Heather said. She goes, I'm not looking for anything long term, but I don't think that's going to be a problem with Big Daddy. Heather said she's gonna hit it and quit it, all right? Then the guys get up to like call her a car because Heather's drinking and Big Daddy, Keith, is not drinking. He's ordering Shirley Temples, like really fruity, flirty, girly drinks with no alcohol. Meanwhile, Heather is over here drinking vodka sodas with limes, you know. She's ordering the tenderloin steak. She was like, I thought we was gonna be wined and dined, but I guess we just dining, child. So when the guys get up to go fetch her a car, she and Jen have a little girl chat, and Jen's like, what do you think? And she goes, he's nice. Now you know what that means. That means I don't like him, sis. I don't like him. So then we see Whitney inviting all the ladies to Vegas, and they're responding. You have some be like, yes, I'm in, I'm down. Meredith replies, Vegas isn't really my scene, but I'll go. Then you see Mary texting Whitney, and she asks, is Jen going? And Whitney says yes, and then Mary declines. Mary says she'd rather have a plane full of mice than be in Vegas with Jen. Y'all, it just makes me so sad because I would have loved to see Mary in Vegas. Can y'all imagine? Can you imagine? They are robbing us of all these golden scenes and opportunities of having Mary in all these situations. Imagine Mary at the hip hop party, y'all. Please. Imagine Mary in the hot tub that night with all the ladies. It's like we are being robbed of prime Mary content, and I don't like it. And Lisa is still very upset about Whitney talking to Jen at the hip hop party, and Meredith says she's not going to hold anything against Whitney because she's just a messenger. See, Meredith is acting in reason. She's reasoning. Listen, Lisa has not liked Whitney from the beginning, so I'm not surprised that she's behaving this way. It's just like a little bit shocking because I actually forgot. Lisa, why are you being so petty about this? Whitney was only saying what she heard. And why is Meredith able to recognize that and you aren't? Aren't y'all supposed to be the same person? Somebody tell me. Lisa says she's on the fence about Vegas. And then we see Stuart, y'all. Where the hell has he been? He makes a very brief return. We see him as Jen is packing. And then we see Jen in her confessional claiming she's the fun police. She's saying this either to Stuart or in her confessional. I can't remember, but she's claiming she's the fun police. I don't like that. I don't like somebody coming around and trying to force me to have a good time. First of all, that makes me not want to have a good time because I'm going to be mad at you. Don't tell me you're the fun police because that means in fact, you are not the fun police. Police your ass right up out my face. How about that? Whitney has her fresh new Vegas extensions in. Y'all, I'm kind of here for the extensions. I like the longer hair on her. It's cute. And she says that Lisa didn't call her to confirm if she was coming or not. Whitney says that it's her way of putting her down and putting herself above her. Agreed. Y'all, Heather is living for Vegas. Bitch is ready to drink, gamble, fuck, do everything. Heather says, I'm ready to sin, bitch. She was like, this is the best place for Mormons to go, you know. What did she call it? Dirty Mormons? I can't remember what she said, but Heather is down, all right? So they're driving to the hotel, and Whitney calls Lisa in the car, and she sent her the voicemail. Then on the screen, it says 4 seconds later. Not 5, bitch. 4 seconds later, Lisa calls Meredith. If that ain't shady, bitch. And then Lisa says that she's actually coming, and she'll be there in 20 minutes. And Lisa's like, oh, so you're in Vegas, and you're coming? And Lisa dryly goes, yes, I have work down there. That was that. And then so they get to the hotel and they are greeted by a very excited man reading them a poem he was very excited to read. And it was about them in Salt Lake City. It was actually a very cute poem, but while he was reading it, they looked super confused. But it wrapped up and they were cheering him on. Very nice. And then Heather says in her confessional, this man spent more time crafting this poem for us in Vegas than Billy did crafting his wedding proposal. Bitch, I cannot. And then Whitney says that they have a meeting. Like they have activity planned to go race cars. Jen says, hold up, I actually have something planned special for me and Heather, and unfortunately we will not be able to attend. Whitney was like, really? Like today? Jen was like, yeah, it's an appointment. And then Whitney's talking to Heather and she goes, I can't believe Jen is stealing you away because that means that I have to go race cars with Lisa and Meredith. Then we see Lisa and Meredith meeting up in Meredith's room. They're having a chat. They're talking about Whitney and the whole situation. And Lisa says that Whitney isn't taking any accountability for her part in the situation. And that's where she has a problem. Okay. I do see Lisa's side in this because we'll get to it in a few minutes. Meredith says that I don't understand how Jen claims to be my friend, yet she's saying all this stuff behind my back. And Lisa was like, well, I don't really have much of a problem with Jen because to my knowledge, she hasn't said anything about me behind my back. Girl, are you sure? Then we shoot back over to Jen and Heather. Jen has invited Heather to a luxury shopping experience. There's shoes and clothes everywhere. It looks amazing. And she says that she's making it up to Heather because of the Big Daddy double date debacle. Heather and Jen are having a good time, y'all. They're trying on clothes, they're drinking, and then at one point, Jen proceeds to get on top of the bar, and Heather's up there with her, and she falls, y'all. If you have not seen this episode, please go back and watch that scene. I think we're going to make it the thumbnail for this podcast. So then we get over to the ladies. They're driving over to the track and the car ride, it's very silent. And then Whitney is trying to talk to Lisa. She's kind of talking to her, but then she gets a phone. She's like, excuse me, I have to take this call for a minute. Very rude. I feel really bad for Whitney because she's trying really hard to be nice and be friends with Lisa, but it's not working. After a certain point, you have to understand that this person just doesn't like you for whatever reason. It's nothing that you did. You just rub her the wrong way. And in my head, I think it's a little bit of jealousy because Whitney is younger than them. The more I look at Lisa's face, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and say I can see her age a little bit. And even though Meredith is older than Lisa, why does Meredith look younger than Lisa? I'm just saying. I feel like Lisa is jealous of Whitney. Honestly, that is my opinion. That's my opinion. So they get to the track, y'all. Lisa is super excited. Oh my God, I love this. This is amazing. I'm so excited. All that stuff. And then the racetrack driver is like, so have y'all driven before? Oh yes, I have. I love it. It's amazing. She acting like a pro, trying to get on the track, and why is Lisa going 70 on the track, bitch? I don't even do 70 on the interstate, bitch. I'm driving by 80 on the interstate. Why is she doing 70 on the racetrack? They're passing her, Meredith and Whitney. It is so funny because she hyped herself up and all that talk ain't nothing. You talking about you a freak, but then when we get in the bedroom, you hush hush. That's that. So anyway, they get done with their racing. They start talking about the hip hop party, and Whitney apologizes for the way things went down. And Meredith and Lisa bring up a very good point that if Whitney had these things to say about them and they were all at the party at the same time, why not put them all, four of them, Meredith and Lisa and Whitney and Jen, minus Heather, just go to the side. Even Heather could be there, whatever. But why not involve all of them in that conversation, especially if it was about them? And Whitney's like, you're right. I do apologize. They seem to accept it, ? I'm not sure. Their faces are very frozen and blank, but Lisa says in her confessional that she's choosing to accept her apology and she's forgiving her. Then we shoot back over to Jen and Heather, and Jen says that when she met with Lisa, Lisa was not very happy with Whitney. And Heather says that doesn't change the message that Whitney was trying to get across. And she says, Whitney was just looking out for Jen. Jen says that Whitney can't bring something up and not put closure on it. Otherwise, Lisa will slaughter her and Meredith will eat her. And then she put herself in, I'll eat you alive too, like something like that. I'm like, Jen is definitely trying her best to suck up to Lisa and Meredith, and I don't understand why. They were so damn dry and boring. I would way much rather be hanging out with Whitney and Heather. Honestly, they are way more fun. Why would you want to hang out with dry ass Lisa and Meredith, child? And Jen keeps pointing out the fact that Whitney picked an inopportune time to bring up the subject, which I agree with. She definitely should have brought it up at that party. Jen says, this is the first time that I'm throwing a party for my husband in 25 years. And it's like, okay, Jen, like we understand that, but that still does not excuse your behavior. The way you behave, you could have been calm. If Jen would have behaved in a very calm manner, then there would have never been the throwing of the glass, which she still chooses to put on Whitney, which I'm very confused about. And then Jen says in her confessional that Whitney needs to stand up for herself and be a big girl. Then why are you confronting Heather about Whitney? Why aren't you being a big girl? Why aren't you talking to Whitney? I'm so confused. Like, she's yelling at Heather. Heather starts crying. Y'all know Heather's so sensitive. She's like me. If somebody's yelling in my face like that, y'all gonna cry. But it's like, why are you yelling at Heather about Whitney's actions? You're doing the exact same thing you're accusing Whitney of doing. Y'all, I cannot wait for this damn reunion. I feel like Jen needs to be called up to the carpet for the way that she's putting the blame on everybody else and not taking any accountability for anything. Yes, Whitney was wrong for bringing that up at the party, but also the way that you handled it also contributed to the way things panned out. Heather says that Jen's idea of a friend is a henchman, somebody that jumps onto whatever they're feeling and however they're feeling and does whatever they say and pile on to the other person. 100%. She says there's no opportunity to be objective or helpful. Heather, bitch, you better preach, queen. Then Heather says you need to talk to her about it because she thinks that y'all are in a good place because y'all made up in them fucking tubs in the desert. She thinks y'all are all good. And Jen says that Heather is putting her name on the line for Whitney, which is absolutely ridiculous because what? I don't understand. She's again punishing Heather. Now she's blaming Heather for Whitney's actions. So then that's why the episode ends. So next week we see Whitney. She's saying that things are looking hopeful after the track because of course things seem to have been better. And then we see Jen snapping at Meredith and Lisa. She was like, fine, be on Mary's side. And then Meredith gets up and Meredith is like, nobody tells me who to be friends with. Thank you, Meredith. And then Jen is looking at Whitney in the face. First of all, she pops off at Whitney because she thinks Whitney is a weaker person. I don't like that shit. Saying, when you want to talk, then talk to me, bitch. Like, pointing her face. And then Jen is snapping at Heather and Whitney. And then they go to some lady's house that's trying to help them find their inner voice. She's giving me very much like low budget Alison Dubois vibes. Ciao. It should be very interesting. This episode left me feeling very frustrated with Jen and her behavior. It just continues on. I thought in the beginning of the episode like Jen would have come to her senses and realized things, but I've noticed that Jen has taken zero accountability for any of her actions thus far this season. To be yelling at Heather, why are you yelling at Heather? She's your only real friend in this situation. And then when she was talking to Heather when they were like in that little clothing thing or whatever, she was like that the only reason we're giving Whitney any kind of like pass or anything is because of you. So she's your responsibility. Like, bitch, what? See, this is the problem. This is the problem right here. Somebody really needs to like stand up to her and shut her down, and everybody is really scared of her. And it's really annoying to see somebody behaving like this on national TV and then like blaming everybody else for their actions and their issues. I cannot wait for this reunion so that Meredith can see that she was actually talking about you, bitch. She was actually talking about you and Seth and the man in New York and all that stuff. The reunion should be very good. The way they was dressed. I'm still holding on to Salt Lake City. I'm still hopeful. It's definitely way better than Dallas. Dallas is not giving me anything, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to recap it. Like I said, I might give it one more episode, maybe two. I don't know, y'all. I will decide when I'm done, so I'll let y'all know. I don't think y'all are listening to me for the Dallas recaps anyway, so I don't really know many people that watch Dallas. If you want to ask me what the trifecta is, it's really only a twosome. It's Atlanta and New York, and that's on period. So that has been the recap for this week. That's going to wrap up the week. I will see you guys on Tuesday for... What are we doing? I will see you guys on Tuesday for the Atlanta recap. Until then, this has been another episode of Now We've Said It. And thank you. Oh, wait, please be sure to give me thumbs up, positive reviews, give me 5 stars, rate me positively. Please leave comments. It really helps me out a lot. I'm trying to get more attention onto this podcast, so I can only do that with your help. So please share me out, give me thumbs up, comment. It really makes a huge impact, and it only takes less than 2 minutes of your time. So I would really appreciate it, y'all. Until next time, I will see you later. Bye.
But now we said it.